On this episode of Unbillable, we decided to film it here in my law office because we're going to talk about what it takes to be a lawyer. Alright, so the number one question I get by far when I speak at any kind of speaking engagement, whether it's a high school, a college, a business office, a real estate office, anything at all, almost certainly has to do with education and how did I become a lawyer, or what does it take to be a lawyer. So we figured on this vlog we would answer that question. What does it take to be a lawyer? Like, you know, I'm sure you want this kind of existence, you want the desk and the important clients and those kinds of things, and so how do you get there? So it does all start with education. I usually kick off my speeches by going through the most recent census report about education and how much education is being received by the population. So for example, if you're out there and you have a high school diploma, if your highest level of education is the completion of high school, then you fit in with about 28% of the population in the United States, right? About 28% of our population, the highest level of education they've received is finishing high school. And so obviously you need to finish high school. Beyond that, there's college. After high school, you got to get a 4-year degree, like for example, a bachelor's degree. And if you are able to achieve that, then you join about 20.8% of the population has a bachelor's degree. I have a bachelor's degree from USC. If you saw our last video, the Thanksgiving special, you saw some of the USC paraphernalia, and I'm sure you'll probably see some more of it in this episode. I graduated undergrad from USC, the University of Southern California, go Trojans, and then did my law school at Loyola Law School. Of course, you have to go to law school. After college, you take the LSAT, the law school admissions test. It's kind of like the SAT you take before high school. They take a combination of your LSAT and they put it with your GPA to determine if you get into law school. As I mentioned, I went to Loyola Law School. Law school is a 3-year program if you are a day student, meaning a full-time student. It can be 4 years if you are a night student or a part-time student. Once you're done with law school, you're a lawyer, right? No, of course not. You have the California bar exam. Of course, here in California, you have the California bar exam. Every state has their own bar exam with different levels of pass rates, but here in California, the pass rate's right around 67 or 70%. After you have the joy of finishing high school, finishing your undergrad, then getting in and finishing law school, you have the joy of taking a 3-day exam, the California bar exam, and if you're lucky enough to pass that, when I say lucky, I don't really mean lucky. If you put in the work necessary to pass that thing, then you have the joy of being sworn in as the California licensed attorney. I had the esteemed honor of achieving those things and now being a lawyer. And so although I spend quite a bit of my time talking about things that aren't exactly law related when I do these kind of speaking events, it doesn't mean that those skill sets that I honed and learned in law school and being a lawyer don't help me in these activities. So with that, you got to finish high school, you got to finish college, you got to finish law school, you got to pass the bar exam. Just as a quick funny little wrinkle, not all of that is really true. The reality is all you have to do is pass the bar exam. I believe there are scenarios where people haven't even gone to law school, but they've been successful in passing the bar exam. And if you pass the bar exam, well then you're able to practice law. I don't recommend that. I think it would be really hard to do. It's not the route that I took, but it's out there for you. If you think you can do it, you can give it a shot like that. So with that, how do you become a lawyer? A whole lot of school, a whole lot of reading, a whole lot of hard work, and then you have the right to start at the bottom as a brand new lawyer who basically knows nothing.
Bam. And tape.
End tape.
That's it.
Scut.